Just keeping it real, a lot of you aspiring financial professionals are watching this channel and are subscribed because you're trying to find a job, right? Now, in my guide, 10 Tips to Jumpstart Your Career, I talk about the #1 thing as being research, at least the first thing that you can do. And I want to break that down today and to show you exactly how to research the right way. Get the pen and paper out. Dominique Henderson here, your CFP on YouTube. Want to dive right in today, answering a question that popped up in my Facebook group, and it was all about how do you get into, finding the firm you want, finding out more about them, being prepared for that interview, and really just diving into the research component of being prepared as an aspiring financial professional. How do you do that? Well, I want to show you how to do that because there are some things you should be doing and should not be doing. And I want you to spend your time efficiently and wisely when it comes to looking for that next job and knowing exactly what to do to put you in the best position to secure it. I want to show you a little secret that I shared with my Facebook group a little while ago as an exclusive. This may be a somewhat shameless plug that I'm consciously delivering to you in order to jump into the Facebook group. You could possibly learn some things that you wouldn't otherwise know. But suffice to say, this is something that I think everybody can use, should be aware of. I'm sharing it with you now. And later on, we'll talk about how you can use that information that I'm about to share in this video. So check it out. The Investment Advisor Public Disclosure website is a website that any firm that is registered has to upload their documents to it. Their ADV is what, in particular, the firm brochure is what you want to look at. So I'm going to use my firm as an example. So what you would do is go to this website, type in the name of the firm, and what you would get is this. So, right, you get the details of the firm, you get how they're registered. I am an investment advisor firm. So this to let you know if the firm is an independent. It would say broker-dealer here if it was not. So if you get details, you got the ADV that was filed and then the Part 2 brochures. The Part 2 brochures is what you want to see because that reads in a little bit more plain English, if you will. So the firm brochure right here. So once you click this is going to give you what I filed and any other firm for that matter. And you can see, I think what's important here is you can see how the firm's business in item 4, the advisory business, what they do. I'm focused on comprehensive planning, right? The services that they offer. So we do comprehensive financial planning, we do investment advisory service, and we do consulting and tax prep services. So this gives you a good indication of what the firm's core businesses are because they have to disclose this to the public. And you can ask questions around how they do this. Like, so, a question you may want to ask me is, so what is your view on comprehensive financial planning? I read through your ADV or your firm brochure, and I understand that you do have this focus, but what kind of clients do you focus on in helping them, right? Or, things of that nature. So you can kind of get creative with what you ask, but that would be a way. You can also see their fee schedule here. So I'm trying to think through some of that. You can probably get some other questions based on that. So item 7 is the types of clients. You can ask for a breakdown of more of what that looks like. Do they specifically deal with one particular company or particular companies or a service industry, doctors, if that, all that kind of stuff. So I think those are all good questions. Obviously, if there's any disciplinary actions against the firm, you can kind of tread lightly there, but you may want to ask about that before getting into something that may not be what you want. And then, so yeah, I think this is a good document to start with. And this is all, like I said, this is all free and available to the public for your perusal. So that's something that I think everybody should be aware of. The brochure supplement for each individual of the firm, all the principals of the firm would also be there too. So if you wanted to ask any particular questions or specific questions, see the background of people, like how they've matriculated through their career, that would be a good way to do that. All right, so we got how to research the firm, how to get a little bit more information about them. Now what we're going to do is show you the 3 steps that I think you should combine with that step in order to get those firms to be looking at you and get you as one of their top candidates for the job that you are seeking. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the firm, you're going to prime your LinkedIn profile, and then you're going to follow up. So let's take a look at all those steps. The very first one is you got to find the firm. Maybe you've had conversations with them, you met them at a career fair, maybe you have a mentor that works for that firm, right? There's different ways that you could find out about the firm. And after you find out about the firm, you're going to want to prime your LinkedIn profile. Now, I've done a video about this, and you need to look at that video. I'll link it up in the cards, but there are some things that you want to be aware of when you are priming your profile. This is the very first impression most people are going to see you. You're likely not going to have too many instances of being able to meet them physically and shake their hand. And so when they research you online, specifically your LinkedIn profile, where a lot of these transactions and businesses done, you want them to have the right impression of you, and you want your profile to say the right thing. So I've done a whole video on how to do that. Make sure you check that out. So you found the firm, you've primed your profile. Now you need to think about your outreach to them. Now, let's say you're targeting a firm like mine. What you're going to do is you're going to see maybe my social media feed, and you're going to look at that social media feed, and you're going to follow me either as a company or as an individual of the firm, depending on how big that firm is. They may not post a lot of stuff on their company page like I don't on LinkedIn. I post a lot of stuff on my personal profile because that's the brand that I'm building up as my personal brand. So either way, you want to start following those posts. You want to, pay attention to what they're saying and make some mental notes about what could possibly be a conversation topic for them. For instance, if you were looking at my firm, you would see that I do a lot of coaching for aspiring financial advisors, and I also work with individual families. So you want to start to make sure that you're taking mental note of those things, and then you would start to comment on those posts. You may not just a like and emoji face, that's really easy to do. What about a thoughtful post about, hey, that was a great interview that you did with so-and-so. I really like the fact that you brought out X and Y. Those type of things. It could be, less than 25 words, literally, that shows that you've taken the time to actually thoughtfully put together something, and you're not just, throwing up the thumbs up or the hand clap or whatever. That shows that it's not really that much thought going into whatever you wrote. Then what you're going to do is very strategically find that person that you found in maybe the firm brochure, the ADV, a principal of the firm, or somebody that you know has a hiring authority at that firm. And you're going to reach out and connect with them on LinkedIn. You're going to send them a connection request and say something maybe to the nature, I love the stuff that you're putting out on social media, Dominique, about aspiring financial advisors. I would love to connect with you and add you to my network. I would say 6 times out of 10, most people are going to accept that connection request as long as you've done the good priming part that I've talked about earlier. Then once they're a connection, you can start to do a little bit more. And the next step would maybe to shoot I would say 60 to 90 second video with a software called Loom that you can easily just set up your camera or on your MacBook or whatever. Introduce yourself, say something like, hey, this is Dominique Henderson. I'm a student at XYZ firm or wherever your situation is. I'm really, really digging the things that you're saying on social media about X and Y. I even saw the video that you did about yada, yada, yada. And I would love to have a conversation. Maybe we can have some virtual coffee for 15 minutes in the next week or so, depending on your calendar. What are some days that may work for you? I'm available here at this number, and here's my email address. I look forward to speaking with you about X whenever you have some time to reach back out to me. Thank you, and have a great day. Now, that is going to really set you apart, because I can tell you right now that out of 100 of you, there's probably 1 or 2 people that are doing that. Maybe even less than that. And the reality is if I were a person and I got that type of response or that type of outreach, I'm going to take notice. And is that to say I'm going to take notice the first time? Maybe not, depending on my schedule. But if you followed up maybe a week later and said, hey, sent you a video introducing myself about a week ago, Dominique, did you get a chance to look at that? Then I'm going to go, oh yeah, I did see that. And then I'm going to go back and look at the video. Or not. Do this 10 to 20 times a month, and I guarantee you that somebody's going to pick up the phone or schedule an appointment with you to give you that 15 minutes of virtual coffee for you to then start to talk about more about how you can bring value to what they're doing and to see if there's an opportunity. If you do that and you provide the perseverance, the patience, and the diligence to do that, I am almost certain, guaranteeing the fact that somebody's going to look and take notice of what you're doing and want to know a little bit more about you. Now, these steps require something. They require patience, perseverance, and a little bit of personality. But just imagine if out of 100 of your peers, there's less than 5 of you doing this, which I can pretty much guarantee that is the case. You are going to stand out so much more, and that job opportunity is going to be almost yours for the taking. I would imagine that you would probably get multiple opportunities if you do this multiple times. Is it easy? No, it's not, but there's a simple process for you to follow. It's going to take a little bit of effort on your part, but these are the things that set you apart. I know that these work because I've done them myself and I've used them in my own practice, and I know that they give you the rewards of those that keep on keeping at it. All right, I'm curious, what have you tried? What methods have you used to secure that job that you're looking for? Leave that down in the comments. Let me critique and give you some feedback on that method. Maybe I can help. Hopefully I can. Talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.